Hello, my name is Adideb. I've been friends with Lou for about 6 years now. Um, I work in cybersecurity at the moment, but originally I was studying electrical and computer engineering with a minor in computer science at Rutgers. And Rutgers is actually where I first met Lou, where she was originally just the roommate of one of my high school friends, and that's how we were introduced to each other. But pretty quickly on, we evolved into just this really great friendship where I couldn't get enough of her because she was just this adorable, amazing human being that just had so much to offer. She looked at the world in a very different way. So when she up and went back to California, I kind of knew I wanted to like stay in contact with her. Um, but 6 years ago, I was a very different person. I still consider myself very logical and very math oriented, but back then, even more so and even more rigid. So when I met this girl who was just explaining things in terms of energies and chakras uh, and spirituality, I kind of didn't buy into it a lot. I was very doubtful, and I still have my moments a little bit, but I really do have the one thing that I never really doubted was the fact that she wasn't explaining it in a way to sound smart or to be condescending or even to sell anything. It was always to help. Um, and like one of my earliest like examples of that is the fact that like freshman year, nobody had any money, nobody had any way of getting around. Um, and we were all in these like tiny little boxes that they somehow called dorms. And Lou would be sitting there and offering people free haircuts, just wanting to cut people's hair for free. I got way too many haircuts from her for free. But not just me. Random people basically off the road would be coming in, sitting in her chair, and Lou would be listening to their problems while she cut their hair. Um, and that was just something that I was really baffled by to start with, because I was like, wow, you could be charging even not if not a lot of money, a little bit of money, and just making a little bit of cash just on the side while you're doing this. But that was never the point for her. She never wanted the money. She wanted the chance for people to sit in her chair, talk to her while she offered something in return. And what she offered was, yes, the haircut, but also any kind of like just thoughts that she had. And if people took them, they took them, and if they didn't, they didn't. She never had any problem with that. Um, and that was like one of like my earliest experiences of seeing Lou just sitting somewhere and just being like the ear that people needed when they really needed it. And that was just something that like really made me fall in love with her even more when I first met her. But personally, like the amount of hours that Lou has had to sit through hearing about me and my exes, hearing about like the things that I've been going through, she's offered so much. She really has. And I feel like the one biggest thing that I really took away from her was there was one time where when we were speaking, I was trying to explain the way that I think and how I often have this trouble of sometimes feeling like I'm sitting and watching a screen that is like what my eyes are projecting. So I would feel like I'm stuck in my body and just like watching what's going on around me. And I wasn't really getting a good way to put it into words, and even now I still struggle with it. But uh, Lou had offered like the four bodies like explanation, which is that human beings are composed of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies, where each body kind of has its own realm of how you interact with it and how you exercise it. And she offered that maybe I'm just someone who likes to sit in my mental body a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. I overthink a lot. I consider myself very math oriented and very logical, and so I like to work through the steps of things in my head before I do anything. And so when it came down to this, nothing really changed. It was just she offered a way for me to change my perspective, not just go like, oh, what am I doing wrong, but where am I exercising my mental body, and then where am I exercising my other bodies? I feel like because of this, I was able to understand that I had been very severely neglecting my other bodies, especially my physical and emotional. And because of it, I like was able to just shift the way that I thought, um, in a way that wasn't only just productive, but it just made it easier for me to explain what was going on in my head a little bit more. It just gave me a new tool, a new mechanism of explanation, which is, again, as someone who likes to think and overthink a lot, it's very helpful. Um, and like that's just one of very, very, very many ways that she has offered help and offered ways for me to like kind of move forward and work on the things that I need to work on. Um, and to be completely honest, like uh, Lou, the thing that I have trouble with is that when I recommend something, I can't recommend because I don't know who I'm recommending to, and so it makes it a little bit difficult. But instead of that, I'll speak to what I do know, and I do know Lou. Lou understands people. Lou understands people and their problems, and she finds joy and she finds pleasure in understanding those things, working a way around it, and then coming up with ways to either live with it, to understand it, or to let go of it. And that's what people need. Like, people need someone for, like, if anything, a wall to bounce ideas off of. And Lou has been nothing short of the most, like, understanding, the most, like, just beautiful wall that I've ever had the, like, privilege of just speaking to. Maybe I shouldn't call him that. But that's why I like wanted to make this video. I wanted to explain that Lou has been this person who not only loves to offer advice and offer help and offer her healing, but she is someone who does it really well. She has a lot of tools under her belt. She has a lot of experience under her belt. And more than that, she just purely wants to help. And I think that's not something that a lot of people get to say. And yeah, I feel like this video might be a little bit too long. But either way, that's my reason why I believe Lou is someone that can be trusted and can be someone that you should go to with your problems if that is something that you need. Yeah. All right. I don't know how to end this. Bye bye.